Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Carbon here, and I hope everybody's staying safe, happy, and healthy through these crazy times that we have. Today, I'm continuing on with the quick setup series, and we're looking at the 720s at Laguna Seca. This is definitely a tricky car, and it's a tricky track, so they're equally challenging. Reason for this one is I mean, there's no cutting around the bush. I had a league race coming up on Thursday, and I wanted to make sure that I had to set up for you as well. So if I was already making one for me, I might as well share it with you guys. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. And quick note, if you are looking to pick up this setup and use it for yourself, feel free to jump into the Discord. The link is in the description. And there's a lot of great people in there if you have questions about setting your car up, if you're looking for help to improve your lap times, or if you're just looking for people to race with. You'll find it all there down in the description below. Also, friendly reminder, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Twitch at 10 p.m. Eastern, and everybody is welcome to join. We do open lobbies, so as long as you are able to get into the server, you're able to race with us, and I look forward to seeing you there. So, enough of me rambling. Let's go ahead and jump into the setup. And again, this one was tough. So here we go. We got the McLaren 720s, Laguna Seca, and with this beautiful livery on it. All right, let's jump into it. As you notice, I went ahead and turned off my webcam, so that way you can see the setup. We're gonna go ahead and jump straight into aggressive. And as you can see, I have not changed anything. Still running stock aggressive setup. And this is also post-patch. There's a lot of aero changes in this patch, so we'll kind of talk about that a little bit throughout the video. First thing I always want to do is go ahead and adjust the brakes. We want pad 1s. Only reason you need pad 2 is if you're doing anything more than a 3 or 4 hour endurance race. So go ahead and leave it at pad 1s. And then electronics are TC6, ABS 6, which in my opinion is a little high. ECU map is 1, which is the qualifying ECU map for this car. And then here are the stock default tire. So we'll go ahead and jump out of here and get on the track. All right, here we go. Starting our hot lap here. Again, we are in hot lap mode, so the tires are always going to be optimum, and you'll actually notice that the tire pressures will change as soon as you go across the start-finish line. Turn 1. I feel like there's a lot of braking understeer, but with the ABS and the TC so high, it's hard to tell. I can already tell that there's liftoff oversteer as well. Which makes sense, you do want the car to rotate. And I can hear the traction control kicking in quite a bit. Not sure what this lap's going to be, but I mean the car overall feels okay, but we can improve on it. The main thing is we want to bring down the traction control and probably the ABS a little bit. There's that liftoff oversteer as well. And again, under hard braking, it does feel like it pushes quite a bit. All right, there's lap 1. Go ahead and return to the garage here. And so that was a 123.9. We'll go ahead and jump into the setup. So here we are. We went ahead and jumped into the setup. You'll notice up here that I did save the stock aggressive setup just so I had something to fall back to just in case I need it. But this is the default aggressive setup. I have not made any changes so far. So the first thing I always do, again, is take a look at the aero variation. Currently sitting at 8%, which is pretty high. Another thing I take a look at is the rear wing and the brake ducts. Both are set. And I feel like these brake ducts would do well for a short sprint race, 20 minutes, 30 minutes long. But if the temperatures do increase, you'd want to consider opening those up. So we'll leave them for now. The one thing that we are going to change, which I found helps a lot with this particular car, is one click up on the front ride height. And as you can see, that dropped the aero variation down to 7.2%. Lifting the front is reducing that attack angle on the front of the car, which will help with the oversteer, and especially in the lift-off scenarios. As soon as you lift off, that nose dives, and it creates a very aggressive turn-in on the front end since you have all that aero on it. Another thing I want to do is adjust my electronics. So I feel like we can get away with a 2 TC, and I feel like we can get away with a 4 ABS. And that should help find a little time here. And then we want to look at tire pressures. So hot lap is a little different. Hot lap, you're going to be resetting your tire pressures every lap. So you kind of want to have to, you do want them near 27.5 around. On all corners around the car, but it's a little difficult than a normal race. A normal race, you can go out and do 3 or 4 laps, and then you'll see this PSI hot, and you'll adjust your tire pressures from there. So if this was a 26.3 PSI hot, then you would do 14 clicks up to nail that 27.75 or 27.7. which is usually what I target for the rear. So I'll go ahead and make a couple adjustments here. So this should now be at 27.2. This should now be at 27. This should now be at 26.8. This should now be at 27. So we'll go ahead and jump out onto the track and see how this feels now. All right, here we go. Start this first hot lap here. We'll see how the car feels. See if we made any changes, anything worth noting throughout the lap. Going into turn 1 here. Car's balance feels way better. I'm able to get onto the power a lot sooner. I feel like I have a lot more confidence into that corner. Certainly a lot more confidence there. I mean, you can already tell we're up almost half a second. Yep, there's half a second already. Let's see if we can knock a full second off. Oh yeah, car feels great going through there. It just feels so much safer, more stable, at least for me. Terrible exit there, but as you can tell, the car is doing phenomenal now. Just with that one change, so we're dropped down to a 23.2. Go ahead and jump back to the garage here. Yeah, 123.244. So we improved at least half a second, a little bit more than half a second, just by doing the one change to the aero variation. Dropping the back end or raising the front end is going to make the car more stable. It's going to allow you to carry that speed through the corner without fear of the back end coming loose. So now that we got aero variation set up, we'll go ahead and jump back into the setup and we'll take a look at mechanical next. All right, we're back into the setup here. And I'll have to take a look at the PSIs again, but for now, we'll go ahead and jump into the mechanical setup. And don't worry about the tire pressures. If you grab this setup at the end, I'll make sure that they're set correctly. So what we're looking at here, this is all stock. I have not changed it. One of the things I feel like we can improve on is get a little bit more rotation under braking. We can do that by moving the brake bias forward. I found that 56.4 worked out pretty well for me. Again, this is going to be to taste, so if this is a little too aggressive, you can back it off a couple clicks, and that should make it a little safer for you. Couple of other things off the bat that I notice here. Let's see. Number one, we're going to look at wheel rates. I think I'm going to do one click up on the front. This is going to make the car a little more stable in high-speed zones. It's also going to help with the corkscrew quite a bit. And I'm also going to increase the bump stop range. I think what might be nice is 1300 on both. And bump stop range, I'm going to increase this quite a bit. I want the suspension to travel just enough for me to get a little bit more rotation on the front end. So we'll go ahead and bump that to 5. On the back, I'm going to also do one click up on the wheel rates. I think I'm going to leave the bump stop rate the same at 500, but we don't need this much range. So I'm going to bring this down to, let's say 45. We do want the suspension to be able to travel because we have a lot of significant bumps on track, but I think we can get away with 45 and it should work out fine. Anti-roll bar in the rear, I feel like it's fine to me. But if you are having trouble with getting out of the corners, as far as if you have oversteer on exit, you can always take this a click down. Or if you find that the car is not rotating enough on exit and you're just understeering, you can always increase this a click. Preload differential, I'm going to go ahead and bump up 1. Make the back end a little bit more stable under braking, but it's also going to lock up the diff a little quicker. Which should help accelerating out of the corner. And again, if you have any questions about any of these items, leave a comment below or jump into the Discord, and I'll be happy to help you with those. Alright, let's go ahead and see how our changes affected the car and see where it puts us as far as a lap time. Alright, here we go. I'm going to start our next lap. This has the aero variation changes as well as the mechanical changes. Let's see how it feels now. Braking into turn 1. I certainly felt like I could brake a lot later now, but the rotation is there as well. Yeah, the car feels great. That was probably driver error on that one. I kind of turned in a little too late there. But yeah, the front end just actually wants to turn more for you. It's a little bit more active. And as you can see, our delta, it's not significant, but it does feel better. Well, we got through the corkscrew. Pretty good there. Oh yeah, feels great through there. I think we're going to be able to beat this lap time. Oh yeah, absolutely. That should put us in the 22s. There we go. So yeah, went from a 123.9, if I remember correctly, down to a 22.8 with just doing a couple tweaks here and there. And I'll continue working on this setup, and I'll post the full complete setup in the Discord with dampers set as well. But if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. Don't forget to join the Discord if you haven't already, or if you'd like to. And if you do like this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. So I'm going to go ahead and close the video out, and I will show you my fastest lap with the setup that we just made. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. We'll see ya. Peace out.